Good morning. I'm tired. I did not sleep at all, just as I feared, because I was really trying over the weekend to get myself back into sleeping earlier, and it did not work. It was like I was so desperate to keep staying up that I didn't even realize I was staying up over the weekend because I feel like, I don't know, almost feels like this whole last year. Now, this could sound so dramatic. Okay, like, bear with me here. I feel like this whole last year that just passed is like dying out. You know what I mean? And then, yes, it's great because the pandemic and COVID, that means that is on the downfall. So I'm glad about that. But man, has it been nice to have my own schedule. Yeah, my own schedule. I did so many things over this last year. I discovered so many things about myself, like things that I love doing, like rhinestoning, which, by the way, since the last competition, I've had no motivation for, so hopefully that will maybe come back. But now that I'm going back to work, I'm a little afraid that everything's going to be thrown on the back burner again. That's kind of one of the biggest things I tried to take advantage of this last year for, like, with mental health and finally going to a doctor that I hadn't been to a doctor for a very long time, and finally setting up a doctor, finally getting that ball rolling. And I had my first, like, little surgery and everything for checking up on my health. And yeah, because when I get into the work grind, I have a tendency to just solely focus on my routine being go to work, come home. When you have a day off, you have a day off. Go to work, go to work, come home. Go to work, come home, that kind of thing. It's just, and I'm really nervous that, I'm gonna start having trouble finding times to take care of my mental health, even though I'm gonna still try to be seeing my therapist and still kind of look for an actual, like, psychologist, like a long-term psychologist, because I have a behavioral counselor. I just call her my therapist. But yeah, so I plan to continue seeing her and continue seeing all my doctors and stuff, but it's just kind of, I don't know. I'm so worried that it's going to be a point where, like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to have another appointment. Same thing with Constantine and coaching. Like, I'm afraid that that's going to be put in the back burner as well. But then again, I think he also might have things coming up, so maybe it'll work out that way. Like, it will work out for both of us, but I wish, like, I want to make sure I can kind of continue those things. I would really like to rhinestone again, but that definitely became, like, a hobby that I was able to do because I had so much time on my hands. I don't know how Jesselyn Siwa does it. Still rhinestoning every single day, probably. Rhinestoning away, and they have the craziest schedule, probably, of anybody. As most celebrities do. Anyways, this is becoming longer than I thought. I will let y'all know how the first day went. I have less than 3 hours of sleep, though, so that's gonna be fun. It's okay. We do what we can, man. We do what we can. I'm alive. I'm kidding. Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday now. I had my first day officially back at work yesterday. Oh boy. I mean, I was excited to be back and see people, but we had a situation of, like, we were sort of forced to open earlier than we were supposed to. Not by our company, but by the person who owned the building, I guess. And you can kind of tell. I definitely did not feel like we were prepared enough to open because we originally planned to open around May 14th. And it was pushed early, so we weren't restocked on most things and had limited soda. It was kind of a rough day, but we got through it, and I will say it was, like, a slow day, though. Like, there was not that many customers, which I always like those days because I just feel more relaxed and not having to be, like, on, Though we are also incorporating cleaning every 30 minutes. Like, basically, we're supposed to sanitize touchable surfaces every 30 minutes, which I totally understand and, like, was kind of almost excited for, like, going into it because I knew, because I like the cleaning aspect. I like sanitizing things. We have to use a special cleaner now that's like way stronger, and oof, it gave me a headache after like a while, you know? And I somehow still breathed it in at one point by accident because I took a breath when I had just sprayed it when I was trying to clean something. I was like, and I'm like, ugh, and it somehow made it through my mask. I know that mask doesn't really like protect super well from that kind of stuff, but yeah. And so, I mean, it was a little bit of a, you know, rough start, but I kind of expected it because we're all like now just reopening. A lot of times the customers understand, but it just felt like one of those days where like everything kind of, I kept getting messed up, like with the till, like the register, and like with all this stuff. And yeah, those kind of days, they happen. It is what it is. But I'm not gonna lie, I am relieved that I just have a normal day at home today, which was my normal and won't be my normal for too long anymore. Like, I'm probably not going to be able to have these days where I'm just at home as much, but I don't know. We'll just see where it goes. I realize that the clips I'm including are just like these long rants, but hey, I wanted to share my story about how it all went. I will say, like, although I kind of appreciate the cleaning, I also, because I have anxiety and some OCD potential, because I get very like paranoid about getting sick and paranoid about germs. I'm not like a germophobic or anything, or I'm not that hardcore, but it's more of like, I want to clean. It kind of just felt a lot, and I felt a little overwhelmed with anxiety when I was like having to clean everything. And we also have our special sanitizer. We have to like spray it on the surface that we're cleaning, wait for a minute, and then come back and wipe it. And that's just not always possible to do, to be completely honest. Like, because if you, like, I was trying to like continuously spray different things that I was supposed to clean, but then you get distracted with something else, whether it was like something else you needed to do, or customer or whatever. And then I'm like, what did I spray? and I'm like, I have to like reach into my mind to be like, okay, because I sprayed so many different things, and I'm like, what all did I spray? What have I not wiped up yet? And so it kind of becomes this sort of endless cycle of like that sort of paranoia of making sure I do it correctly and sanitize everything well. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So today I am relaxing. I'm gonna watch vlogs and I'm gonna edit. Oh yeah, my back is so sore. Like my shoulder blades are sore and my forearms are sore from all the scrubbing, from all the wiping down and everything. I woke up and I'm like, ow. My calves are also sore, but that's normal for me if I'm on my feet for any long period of time. So yeah, anyways, I might just end this here unless I do something more exciting later, because it's getting really long. Wish me luck on this new transition. One last thing I kind of wanted to add in before I conclude this video 100%. I also was summoned for jury duty. So, like, I understand that is, like, important to do. It's the first time I've ever been summoned for jury duty. But that's kind of been a stressful process because I've been trying really hard to opt out due to the fact that, due to like financial hardship, honestly, because I'm going to be transitioning from being supported with unemployment, even though I have saved money. It's not, but like, it's just from unemployment to actually working the hours when already I was making less when I worked both my jobs than I did with unemployment, even with the smallest amount that I was being paid from it at one point. And so here I am trying to like transition into work, and I want to get a consistent schedule, and I want to keep that consistent schedule and not change it. So just to keep that financial like stability coming in, you know, because I'm about to transition into not really receiving unemployment anymore, probably because I don't really know the whole process. I don't think I can, even though if I don't have very many hours, I don't know if I can still claim any sort of unemployment even if the hours are low. But, and I'm not trying to like, you know, be that person either, but at the same time I want to make sure I stay financially stable going back into work. And I basically was trying to say this sort of as my undue hardship. I probably didn't word things right. I submitted it twice and I got denied twice. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, because I know you're supposed to get paid for jury duty, but you get paid nothing for jury duty, by the way. And only some jobs will compensate you. I don't know about mine. I sent an email to my manager to ask about that process. I'm not gonna get financially compensated at work, most likely, because I'm a part-time worker that barely just started and we're already struggling because we're just starting back up. So I don't see there being room to give a part-time employee compensation for jury duty. But then again, I don't really know. When it comes down to it, on top of the undue hardship stuff, I don't understand jury duty. Like, I get that that's the point. Get random citizens in to help. I get that. But what says that any of them have, like, the authority on what is right or not? Like, I know that sounds really weird, but, like, I feel like it should be something you volunteer for, even though I know it's, like, an at-random thing. But I don't think it's fair to, like, randomly select someone and be like, you have to come to this regardless, like, you have no way out, and because we need your help with this, and it's your civic duty and whatnot. But it's like, well, I don't know anything about, like, detailed laws. Like, how am I gonna be able to have any influence in what happens or have an educated decision? I don't think I'm gonna be able to have an educated decision on what I say as a jury member. Like, it freaks me out. It throws me into severe anxiety spirals, which originally I was going to claim that I have severe anxiety, I can't do this. But then I had to go through a whole process with getting a doctor's note, and, like, I'm in a weird transition right now trying to get a different primary doctor just because of the situation is just not working super well. It's just not working. So I was like, okay, I'll try financial hardship. I'll try it. And I might keep trying to submit it because I don't want to do this. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't, and I cannot. Like, I don't want to be disturbed from work. I don't want to, like, leave, and ugh. Hi. I'm sorry that this video you're watching right now is a bit rambly, but I had one more thing that I wanted to share in reference to jury duty. I had this thought occur to me today, and it could be controversial, but I really would like to share it because it's truly how I feel. I think it's wrong for them to require you to do things like jury duty. Now, don't come for me. I know it's supposed to be like a civic duty and all that stuff, but again, as I mentioned, who's to say that, random citizens have the mindset or education to really make an informed jury decision, right? And it just seems so wrong to be forced to do this against your will and be told it's a civic duty. And it brought me back to this thought, although I'm sure there's controversy around this little statement I'm about to say already, but it's supposed to be a free country, right? So why are we being forced against our will to do something like this if it's just not it? If we don't feel comfortable? I feel like if you don't feel comfortable doing this something, you should have every right to say, I can't do this, I don't feel comfortable. This is freaking me out, I don't feel comfortable. I have severe anxiety, I don't feel comfortable, without having to get a doctor's note. Now, I could get a doctor's note. It's not that I can't, it's just at the time I am going through a transition into a new doctor. I just said that recently in this video, and I don't want to, scuff that up by being like, wait, I need a doctor's note. Not to mention the reason why I'm going through a transition is because I personally don't feel comfortable with the doctor that I have. I don't feel like I can go to the doctor that I have right now, and I'm talking about my primary doctor currently, and ask for a note for anxiety because I have had experience with this doctor and they're very judgy in the way they talk to me, and I don't appreciate it. So I'm just going to put that out there and say that's the main reason I didn't go get a doctor's note, and I just tried to go through with this. But I do not think it's fair. I think it's wrong to require us to do these things when we really don't feel comfortable in any way, shape, or form. All right. I'm going to try to end this video now. I'm sorry this ended up being a long rant, but wish me luck again with figuring out my transition into work and this whole jury duty thing. And I appreciate you so much for watching this video. Feel free to comment down below. I would love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye!